Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together the Surfing Santa card, which is a SVG file from Simply Crafty SVGs. So here are the pieces to make the card. So we have one big card piece. This is a piece that will come in here. If you don't have double-sided cardstock, this will be a piece that can go right there for the color, because this is the back. And then we have all the little pieces. So with cards that require a lot of piecing, I normally do that first, just get out of the way. Then I can just put together the card. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've already put together the little tag. So for this tag, I just used a font. I'd have to look it up. I'll mark which one I use, but I did a print and cut. I have a blank tag in the file, and you can put your own sentiment on it. In fact, let me show you a different one. So this is the first card I made. And this card I'm going to show you can use the panels or not use it. This is without the panels. So it has a little crab there. And I put Merry Christmas Hawaiian. Is that Hawaiian? Yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was fun. So that's that one. Again, you can, do whatever you want to do with the file. This is the back panel for sentiment for in the back of the card. So that can go on last. So let's just go dump all these out. So I already did the tag. The one that requires the most piecing is Santa. So you want to pay attention to that. These are the panels for the sides of the cards in the front. So let me get them all organized, and then we'll piece them together. So here are all the sections. So here's the surfboard, the little crab, and the tree. So those three are pretty simple. So let's just put those together. All the rest is Santa, and I'll show you all the individual parts. So let's go ahead. This is just going to fit on the top. So we're doing the easy ones first. And I am using art glitter glue for those that don't regularly watch my videos. I prefer it. I do like Barely Art too, so I'll give that a shout out. I have to use them slightly different, so whatever glue you get, you need to figure out how it works. So just make sure you line this up. If a little brown is showing, it's not a big deal, but you can do it perfect if you really spend the time. So I have it kind of offset, which kind of looks good actually. I'm going to put that up there. So the most time-consuming thing about this particular file is just the piecing. And it's mostly the Santas that's the hardest. So when it comes to the crab, I just do little dots of glue on this is where the fine tip applicator comes in. You can also use like a zig glue pen. That does really fine work too. Just to give you options. I have used that in the past, but since I've gotten this fine tip applicator, it's for my art glitter glue, it works really well. So I just kind of put it on lightly and line it up. Again, if you see a little of the black, it actually doesn't look really doesn't look bad at all. And this one I'm going to try to line up. Make sure you have the right direction. That's not the same both ways. So I'm just going to make sure. So it fits like that, and you can put it upside down if you want. So just make sure that that panel goes on the correct way, so I have it sitting the way I want. So I don't have to guess while I have glue on it. So I'm just going to match it up down there. Once I get it set down, just try not to get too much glue in the openings. I always say that when you have an opening. We'll do the same for the Santa. So here comes the Santa. The Santa, I wanted some details on the Santa. So it required a little bit more work. Now what you're going to notice, if you do notice, that I want it to be kind of flesh colored, but I didn't like the pink I had. So what I did is, if you can see here, I made it a little dark up there, like he had a sunburn, but that's okay. But I used a vanilla, and if you have the right ink in your arsenal, let me go ahead and close this so this doesn't dry while we're talking. I had this, which I thought was a good color, Abandoned Coral, and I'm just going to use a little, either a brush like this. This is kind of big for this because it'll move the parts around, but I use a little brush like this. It's like a makeup brush, or these little finger ones. So for real small things, the finger ones work really well. So I have a little piece of paper. I like to do it on paper. I don't like to get my mat dirty. But I don't know if you'll notice, now that I have them next to each other, this one's a little darker. I already got the places that are going to be where the body's going to show through. The little shorts are going to go down there. So I'm going to take the other pieces and just show you how I inked it. So let me get this. We're going to use this pick-me-up tool too. The pick-me-up tool. Oh, I'm trying to take the lid off, but it's already off. So we're just going to color in the face. So the only place you need to do is the face part up there, which is that piece. And that's not going to show. I already did the legs, so you can see. So if you're worried about it, I'll show you just the technique on the head, even though none of this is really going to show, or how I did it, whether you're going to use it or not. With Distressed Oxide, it blends pretty well. I don't want it really dark. I just want it light, so I'm going to get the excess off. Make sure I have the textured side up. And then I just go lightly, and I go darker as I want. So, or if you can find like some people use blush, but I felt like it was too pink, unless you want to sunburn Santa. So if you can see the difference, it's slight, but just getting a little pink. It depends on how dark you want to make Santa. You could actually make him tan too. So when it comes to these little pieces, make sure that you have the texture side up. I cut this way so you wouldn't have like teeny little eyebrows to deal with. So they're cut out. So it's kind of hard. You have to be careful with the color on this. So if you have paper, you don't need to do that. If you have paper that's a good blush, like a skin tone color, but I just don't really have a good one. I don't think American Crafts for me has one that I really liked, although I have used blush in the past. So I'm just making sure I'm on the correct side. So when it comes to something this teeny, I'm not going to put anything else on it. I'm just going to use the ink on it. Just going to hold it with the other side of this. You could do it lightly with the sharp tool. It flipped on me. If you wanted to make that a little pinker, you could, because it's kind of fun with a really pink nose. So I'm just pushing down, and you can't probably see too much in this video. But this is like little brushes anyways. I do like how it works, and this is for smaller items. So there we go. So I already did the legs there that are going to show. So it's the legs, the arms. I didn't do the arms yet. And a little bit, just I'd say get the excess off if you're using any ink. Just play around with the test piece of cardstock of the color you want to do, just to make sure you get the right color. So that's it. So let's go ahead and piece this. Go ahead and close that. So we have the mustache. So I'm going to push these off the white because I have some white components here. What you want to do is take this middle body piece, or the top body piece, and then we're going to piece the shorts on it. So let's do that one first. And then the face, which is the hardest part, the most intricate part. So when you're doing that, match it up on bottom right here. And then this lines up to the bottom of the white piece, so the white piece sticks out on the top. Kind of look like swim shorts. And it would be fun to do a little pattern too. Pattern paper. I decided to go solid colors. But like a little red pattern would be fun. So now we have that part done. And we can actually just place it on there. And then the head will go last. So again, just line them up at the short section on the bottom there. And if you're not sure you're lined up, just flip it around. That'll be hidden. I decided to do it that way. So this is the head piece. So the order you want to do it in, you can do this top head piece. So when you're doing this, you want to flip it over and put light glue on the other side. You're going to want to line it up. This part might be a little bit hard to line up, but just be patient. It will work. You can see these have a little white on both sides, so the hair shows going up the. It looks funny right now, but it will work. I did it a couple ways, and this is the way that seemed to work better. And this is going to. You see how the mustache just goes right in there, and you could put that on first too, if you think that'd be easier. And the reason I say that is because when you put this one on, you can line them up with those little areas on the outside here. If it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. And then I'm going to put a dot of glue to put the nose. And the wide part goes on the bottom. You just pop it in there. Oops. And then the last thing are the sunglasses. So make sure you have them oriented correctly. I couldn't do a Santa without. I was going to make it actually a bigger card, but I decided that I would just go with an A2 card. So you could make it bigger. I think it's 115%. If you want to do it in a 5x7, you could enlarge. I did the math, but I did keep it. I decided not to redesign it for a 5x7. Some people like A2 cards better, even if there's a lot of detail. So I did try to do less detail on this card, but the way I wanted him to look, I just had to do it this way. So it's not that bad. That was the hardest part. So let's go ahead and get the remaining pieces. So there's not much left. So we're going to go ahead and put the Santa on first. And then we'll put the surfboard next to the Surfing Santa. So you can just line it up, making sure I don't get glue on those. And I was going to omit the hand here, but I thought somebody might want to use it for another card. Because, you can use these characters on any card. So I figure to make it a little bit more user-friendly, the file, that I would just do that. So I tried to make it easy. So the wide part is the bottom. So it should fit like that. So you could pop it up if you wanted with to make it more dimensional. Let's go ahead and do that. I just have to find my double-sided tape. So I put some Scotch foam tape on the back of this, like that one. That's the tag that I'm going to put on. So if you do the double, if you just glue it, you're going to line it up. But if you're doing a foam tape, you just have to make sure it looks lined up from the top or from the front. But it gives a little dimension and brings it up above the hand. And then we can go ahead and add this on here. We're actually not going to add that on until we have the card together. And the reason is, this goes on the inside if you want the textured cardstock. Some people might print on one side, so I want to make sure that those that do that could hide it. So that's really an optional thing. Then I'll have that go over like this. So let's go ahead and put the one insert. So it's a real simple one because of the size of the card. We're going to go ahead and fold these 2 tabs back. Make sure all this is pre-folded. Then we'll go ahead and add glue to one of, I'm going to start with the left tab. So we want it to go towards the front, so that's going to be, it's going to fold around and be the back, like that. So inside here, it's upside down. We're going to go ahead and put this tab right here, the end of that tab, just to the right of that fold right here. Okay, and just below the edge. And then we want to line it up. So just fold it down, and you'll see that you want it to be lined up that way. So that's what it'll look like right there. And then on the other side, once you have it glued, we're going to fold it like that. So I'm folding it over. See how I fold it? Fold it over like that. And you don't have to fold that at all. All you have to do is fold that up a little bit, add glue to it, make sure it's straight before you get it down, and then just flatten it. Make sure you're not pulling on this other tab either. So now we have it in there. You see it puts the distance in there. Then we flip this inward, this last side tab. And we're going to fold this over. Now I want to get glue a little bit closer to the edge here. So I do try to do a couple A2s. I try to do A2s because a lot of card makers want smaller cards. So because so many people go buy an A2 envelopes, but of course if you don't have one, you probably already know, but we have a basic envelope set that you can get for free. It's simply CraftySVG.com, which has a couple size of standard envelope sizes. So that's that. And then we'll go ahead and add this piece in here. If you could omit this if you are not printing one-sided paper. I mean, a lot of people use double-sided cardstock, so really it's the same color on the other side. Do you really care? But I decided I wanted to make sure that I had something just in case somebody only used digital, because I know some other countries can't get it. So you want to line it up on the top, but it's a little bit narrower than the opening, so it'll slide in. So you can always flatten it to apply pressure. And then let's go ahead and slide this in. If you didn't care, you could always put it underneath the other panel, so it's just a preference really. I'm going to move that crab out of the way so I don't get glue on it. Okay, I got glue on my hands here, so I have my little damp paper towel. So I'm going to wipe that excess glue off the top just in a moment. So be a little bit more eloquent than I am. I'm not getting it in the right place. I suppose it would have been better if I just put the glue, put the glue on the actual card. I'm just making it look harder than it actually is. It's really not that hard. So I'm just going to use my fingertips to get it in place. Reach in, make sure that those are in the right place. Remember, I had it kind of a little offset, but it actually looks good that way. You can see the brown through it. I don't mind. So that'll fit in a, it's 4.25 by 5.5 inches tall. And the last couple things we want to put on are these 3 things. So I'm just going to add this to the back. And what I usually do is, I don't like to use textured cardstock because it's hard to write on, but I'm using it anyways. All my Christmas cards that I make usually get gifted, so right away during the Christmas season. So I hold them if I make them earlier in the year, but pretty much gifted. Oops. So you could have put these on first. I did forget to put those, but it doesn't matter because it's a box card. It folds flat. You can put those on last. They're just some people might not even use them, but it's just a little extra if you want a little bit like fun. I thought it would be fun to have a beach theme pattern paper on it, so you could use it with or without. Like I said, I showed you earlier a card that I did it without. So you could have put this on before. In fact, normally I do that. I just had it to the side and wasn't paying attention. It happens. So I'm just going to pull these double-sided tape off. Throw a little trash can over there. And decide where I want. So with the crab, you can put it anywhere. If you want to put it like right next to Santa inside, you can. I personally like it there, or you could put it a little bit more in the middle. It really doesn't matter, but whatever you think looks better for you. If you don't want to use it at all, don't use it at all. Or you want to use something, a different element to add to the card that's beach-like that you like better. I was thinking about a drink, but I really don't like to promote because I'm not a drinker. But anyway, some people, it would be fun to put like a little tropical drink if that's what you're into, or you think the person you're sending to is into. So that's it. That's the card. So it folds flat to fit an envelope. Just a different way. I wanted to have at least one kind of a warm weather Santa type, or a Christmas card, because I know a lot of people are, I grew up in Southern California, so we didn't have snow. So thanks for watching. If you do like it, again, give me a little thumbs up, and there you go. Until next time.